Good morning, everyone. We don't know why Peter asked the question. Maybe he needed a pat on the back or some affirmation. However, he did ask our Lord, "How often must I forgive?" He asked our Lord 7 times. And our Lord responded very openly and very directly to Peter, "No, not 7 times, 70 times 7." Well, it's kind of interesting. We might think it's a very petty question to ask, but is it really? Think about it. You know, when someone constantly hurts us, would we even reach that limit of 7? I'm sure we very quickly would give up because we wonder, how sincere is that person when they say to us, "I'm sorry for hurting you"? But reality is, forgiveness is not easy. And what's very important, especially in an abusive relationship, you know, whether it is physical, verbal, emotional, or sexual, how does a person forgive? Well, let's go back to the teaching of Jesus's time. The rabbis taught that you must forgive 3 times. And so Peter thought that he was being very, very, very generous. You know, 2 times 3 is 6, and I'll throw one more in, a little extra. But our Lord says, no, no, Peter, 70 times 7. There's no limit to the number of times to forgive someone. Well, you know, my brothers and sisters, that's really, really difficult. Why? Well, because we've been hurt. We've been hurt by someone that is close to us. And that hurt registers up here and registers in our hearts as well. And so we have a tendency to hold on to that grudge. It said, forgive and forget. But how can you forgive and forget? We may issue the words, "I forgive you," but that hurt is still in our hearts. And that hurt keeps on festering. It keeps on eating away at us, doesn't it? And we hold on to it. Does it give us any comfort? Not really, when you think about it. It does nothing for us. And so, let's look at the people we have forgiven. Do we forgive everyone? Or do we only forgive certain people? And others we will never, never forgive. Well, our Lord told a beautiful story about a servant who owed his master a great sum of money. And when that servant went to the master and asked that the debt be forgiven, it was forgiven. And when that servant went to a fellow servant who owed him but a fraction of what that servant originally owed the master, That servant was very unforgiving. Maybe we can look at, to really understand that in our day and age, if you had a mortgage on your house and the bank said to you, the mortgage is forgiven, or if you have a lot of credit cards and great debt and, you know, all the credit card companies said to you, you know what, we're wiping away your balance. Boy, you'd feel great, wouldn't you? And yet, if someone, maybe a relative, owed you but $20, um, and you give them a hard time, my brothers and sisters, forgiveness is not easy. We need to work at it. We need to work at it daily. It's a challenge, no doubt about it. But you know what's something interesting? When we truly forgive, you know, this is when healing begins. We are the ones who are healed. We are the ones who eventually feel better. And so we need God's help to learn how to forgive, to truly be forgiving people. And so I ask that you continue to do your best to forgive from the heart, and let that healing occur. And to really pray for the healing of memories as well. Continue to do your best with COVID-19, following all the guidelines, and have a beautiful week. God bless you all.